Hello everybody, AJ Reisig here, and today we've got another Linux review, another one from the Ubuntu 15.04 series. Today we are looking at Ubuntu Studio 15.04. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I'm not surprised. Myself, this is the first time I've taken a look at this distribution, and I'm finding there's a lot to like. Let me drag their homepage over here. We'll put it right here. And as they say, Ubuntu Studio, let me back up to that page. Ubuntu Studio is a free open source operating system for creative people. We provide the full range of multimedia content. Wow, it keeps changing on me. I can't read when they're doing that. Full range of multimedia content creation applications for each of our workflows: audio, graphics, video, photography, and publishing. So, I guess you could say this is Ubuntu for artists. And, I'm not just saying, the drawing type of artist, but, music and writing and all that, photography, all that kind of stuff as well. And going through this distribution, there's a lot to like about it. And a lot of applications that while you could set up something like this yourself, they've already added all those applications that somebody in a particular field, say the publishing or the music or the photography, it's already set up for you and ready to go. Now, talking about those various categories, the audio, graphics, video, photography, publishing, what was really neat when I was installing this distribution, wow, can't talk today. Anyway, what was nice when I was setting up this distribution is you have a selection page where you can pick which one of those categories you fall into, the video, the the publishing or whatever, or you can go and select them all, which for this for the purpose of this review, I installed them all. But that's kind of nice if say you're into the video stuff, don't really need the publishing stuff, and don't really need the maybe the photography. Leave them out and save yourself a little bit of RAM and a little bit of disk space. But of course, you can go and install everything like I did. Now, this distribution is based on Ubuntu 15.04, so we get that good Ubuntu base, kernel 3.19, all those updated packages. They are using the XFCE desktop environment here, which is probably a good choice. It gives you some really nice flexibility as far as setting up the desktop just the way you want it, while at the same time being fairly light on the resources. Especially when you're looking at doing a lot of video work, a lot of the graphics work, it is very memory and CPU intensive. So having a desktop environment that's not impacting your work too much is kind of a nice thing. Probably not a big deal, if you've got a late model computer with 16 gigs of RAM. It's not a big deal. But if you've only got, say, 4 or so megs of RAM or gigs of RAM, and you're looking at running all kinds of graphics programs at the same time, not having to give away 700 or 800 megs of RAM to your desktop environment is a nice thing. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here for our desktop itself. They got some really neat wallpapers. Let's start with that, and let me go and open up our desktop settings, and you can see they've got a fair number of wallpapers here. I think all of them are pretty neat looking. I was looking at some of them earlier, and really neat looking wallpapers. Let's try that one. And like I said, we are rocking XFCE for our desktop environment. It is the latest version 4.12, And as you can see, we've got, if you're looking down here at cheese right here, you can see it's the latest XFCE default window borders, which I actually like. It looks like a slimmed down version of Adwa from the Gnome team. I really like the look of it. And then of course, you could go in and tweak the colors and all that to make it your own, but I kind of like it the way it is. We just got a single top panel. We've got the old style drop down menu right here, which is categorized. I kind of had mixed feelings about this. It doesn't use up a lot of space, and it's traditional, but at the same time, I really miss the keyboard search that you get with the whisker menu. Personally, if I was going to use this as my main desktop, I would replace this with the whisker menu and / or add a keyboard launcher like Gnome do or Synapse, one of those. So we've got our open applications here. Over to this side, let's see, that little indicator is from my screen recorder. Of course, we've got our internet connections here, volume control there. Time and date pops up there, and then we've got our workspace switcher right here, and then from here we can log off, log on, switch users, all that kind of stuff. And that's essentially it. So the desktop is fairly simple, but I think their whole point here was, let's not focus on the desktop, let's focus on the applications, and in that respect, I think they've done a real good job. Well, since the applications included in this distribution are what make it so special, let's get started with those. But I'm going to start with a disclaimer for the audio category. I don't know a whole lot about the various audio applications. I did a little background reading on some of them, trying to get ready for this review, but I don't do a whole lot of audio work. About the extent of it is occasionally I will go and clean up my audio in Audacious if need be. Other than that, I really don't do any audio work, so it's definitely not my forte. I can talk all day about the graphical stuff and publishing, but audio, just not my thing. So that being said, let's start with the audio. Of the various categories there, the photography, video, audio, whichever, each category has an extra audio or extra video, whatever, production applications. Click on that and you'll get this little dialog box that opens, and it'll allow you to go and add additional software applications, and then just click what you want to add and then click OK, put in your password, and boom, it installs it. I'm assuming that it works on some kind of script. Now Ubuntu Software Center is included, and Synaptic Package Manager is included, so you can still install software by that route, but I just wanted to point out, like I said, I think it's just a script. So anyway, we've got, under audio, we've got a variety of audio processors, MIDI utilities, mixers and card control, sound generators, and coming down the list here, QJack is a jack audio connection kit. We got, excuse me, Patchage, as I get, and I'll probably butcher some of these names since I don't use them on a regular basis. Sorry about that. We've got Gladish, which is a Laddie session handler. We've got a Laddie player, Laddie system tray, Zeta MU1, Metabridge, and Ardor 3. I guess that's how I pronounce that, Ardor. Audacious, I have used that one. Very nice for cleaning up audio files. The way that I do my video production, I use Simple Screen Recorder, which records the audio and video together in the same track, but it's really simple to go into Kdenlive, split out the audio, take it into Audacious and clean it up if need be, and then put it right back into Kdenlive, and you got good audio. Luckily, ever since I bought this headset, I really haven't had the need to do that. It gives me real clear sound, so that's no longer an issue for me. But some of my earlier videos, I did have to clean up the audio in Audacious. It does a great job. Hydrogen for drum sequences, Internet DJ console, create your live radio show or podcast. LMMS, easy music production for everyone. MuseScore, which is what you see is what you get. Score typesetter. Pure Data, visual data flow programming platform for multimedia. Q-Tractor is an audio MIDI multitrack sequencer. And Snooper Looper, it's a looping sampler. Let's move on to graphics. And first one on here, Agave. I wasn't real familiar with it, so I had to look it up online. And it's a color scheme designer for the Gnome desk. Have you ever been refinishing a room and found yourself asking what color would go with this? So I guess that's what this application is for. But skimming through this, I noticed that the last news listed was in 2008, so it's a fairly old application. I don't know when it was most recently updated. I was just kind of digging around here and really didn't see where it's been updated recently. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work or it's a bad program. Some things they just don't necessarily need to be updated frequently. So anyway, we talked about that guy. Blender is an awesome 3D modeling and animation tool. One of my older video introductions was made in Blender. Excellent tool. FontForge is for creating your own fonts. GIMP is probably the most popular image and image creator and editing open source software out there. I use GIMP all the time. I also use Inkscape a lot, which is a vector graphics tool. Krita is a digital painting program. Also have, sorry about that. Also have MyPaint, which is another digital painting program. And then down here at the bottom, Synfig Studio, create and edit 2D animations and compositions. Photography, we've got Darktable for organizing, developing digital, and Entangle is a tethered camera control and capture. Of course, we got the GIMP again listed. I guess that that kind of makes sense because GIMP it can be used for both photo and regular graphics. Anyway, Fetch Image Inspector and Photo Batch Processor, Rapid Photo Downloader. And I didn't have time to test this out on this distribution, but when I've used Rapid Photo Downloader in the past, I've had trouble with it glitching up and freezing on me. So I don't know if it's been updated to fix that. But like I said, I had trouble with it in the past. Raw Therapy for raw photos, and Shotwell. Under video production, of course, they list Audacious for audio tools in there. Blender is listed again. Browser for making CDs, DVDs, a DVD styler, Inkscape. And now here's one that I don't know, it had me scratching my head a little bit. For video editing, they've got Kdenlive, OpenShot, and Pity. All three are video editors. Why three? I wasn't exactly sure. And the only thing I could think of was they're taking kind of the shotgun approach. All of those are fairly popular. Well, at least Kdenlive and OpenShot are fairly popular. Pivity is kind of an up and coming a video editor, so I guess they were just saying, well, let's throw them all out there, and hopefully we'll give you one that you like. Record my desktop for not screenshots, but video recording of your desktop, a subtitle editor, and I've never been able to play this one. XJdio, which is a video player that gets synced from Jack. Alright, under publishing, they listed FontForge again, and got a font manager there. A Lynx, which is high-level latex front end. The Muse score is listed again. Scribus is a PDF designer for layout of newsletters, novels, whatever. I will be using Scribus when I set up the paperback for my next novel. Excellent tool. Probably when it comes to the open source layout type programs, Scribus is the best one out there. Alright, most of the other stuff that we have here is standard XFCE / Ubuntu stuff, but a few things I wanted to point out here. Under accessories, this color picker and profile viewer, those are for calibrating your monitor. Always an important thing with graphic and photography applications. Firefox is still our standard web browser, and down here media playback. Of course, I added Cheese and Simple Screen Recorder for recording my videos. We've got Xine for video player, also got Parole Media Player, and then Audacious for music listening. Alright, down here in Office, we've got our dictionary, document viewer, we've got the entire LibreOffice suite, and we've got our calendar and time right down there. Under System, of course, we do have gparted for working with our partitions, but we've got DV Disaster, I guess is how you pronounce it. Additional error protection for CD and DVD media. Of course, our printer setup, Software Center, Disk Creator, Synaptic Package Manager, Task Manager, Ubuntu Software Center, all of our normal stuff that we normally see with Ubuntu or Xubuntu, any of those. A little bit of information, links to information about the Ubuntu Studio, and then down here at the bottom a link to Ubuntu Software Center. So I think that about covers all of the applications. So my overall impression of the distribution has been pretty good. There are tons of applications added, but seriously, I mean, most people are not going to go and select to add all of those categories of applications. I could see if you're a photographer, adding both the photography and maybe the graphics. If you're into videography, that sort of thing, I could see you adding the audio and you see what I'm saying. You're probably not going to add all that stuff. Now, granted, I could go and take, say, Xubuntu and essentially create my own version of this just by adding the software packages that I need for, in my case, for publishing. But for the person that that doesn't want to go through all of the adding the software, they just want to go and install the distribution and run with it, I think this is a good choice. Definitely like the wallpaper and the theming and all that kind of stuff is great. XFCE is a good rock solid desktop environment to use. Of course, the Ubuntu base is a good solid it's a good solid base to use. So real nice distribution. Well, that about finishes this video up. I hope you enjoyed the review. Be sure to leave comments, questions, all that kind of stuff down below, and I will get to it as soon as possible. And be sure to share this video with all your friends, family, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.